Hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of Dishing Out Flavor, and today I'll be making a pineapple upside down cake. And I won't be using pineapples. I'll be using a chayote or a squash. In Louisiana, we call these melonton or merlenton. Take your pick. Okay, first I'm going to peel the skin off. Like so. And this is fairly easy to do. It doesn't take that long. You see it already, I'm done. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. I'll take out the little seed. It's not like it's a big seed or a hard seed, like some type of stone fruit or anything like that. But these very same pieces of fruit or vegetable, or some may slash it as a fruit vegetable, and you can just peel off the rest of the skin for that's left on. So then, what I'm going to do, this may be a little bit too close. Let me adjust the camera here a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to shred this. Next step, you're just going to take and put this into a container. This is all nicely chopped. Now, this is where we get to turn in this into pineapple flavor. So I have some pineapple extract from Olive Nation. I'll get my scale. 2 grams of the pineapple extract. And for the tartness that pineapple have, I'm going to put in some citric acid. And for the piece de resistance, I'll be using some Tirani's sugar-free pineapple syrup. See, I only want 5 ounces of this, and that's gonna go in like so. I'm gonna mix that around. Okay, to this, I'll be adding a little bit of yellow food coloring, and I just take one of my skewers, the back end, and I completely coat it with the gel food coloring, about like so. And I just waddle it down in here. And as you can see, it already starts to turn it colors. And shall leave that up under there. Or maybe not. I'll just angle the camera down a little bit. There you go. And I normally do this the day before, so everything has a chance to get the color that it needs. Now, so that you won't have to add so much dye, I also use a natural color too. Or sprinkle in just a little bit of turmeric, since turmeric has a lot of health properties. I put that in there as well. And then that's when the color really starts to come in. And then I just mash that down. Put the lid on. And then let this sit in the refrigerator until the next day. Now, I already have some that's ready, which is right here. And as you can see, there we go. Now, I must say that it doesn't truly taste like pineapples yet. So, and then it still has a little bit of a crunch. So the next thing I do is put this in a pan, and we're going to cook it for a little bit. So let me get that together. Oh, let me adjust this a little more. There you go. So I'm going to wait for the heat to come up on this. And we're going to soften up those shredded pieces of squash. I'll be back once everything is all nice and hot and bubbly. Okay, it's starting to bubble. You see the steam? I wanted to show at least this part because once it really gets to bubbling, it'll pretty much cover and fog up the camera. So this would be the best time to show that. And all you have to do is pick up one of the pieces and see how tender it is. And you want to continue to cook this until it's not as crunchy, because since it's a squash, a chayote, they have a nice bit of crunch to them. And this is the same fruit or vegetable that's used to make apple pie. And when I make my apple pie, I do the same thing like what I did with this. I cut it up. I don't shred it. I just cut them up in thin slices. And then I put all the seasonings that I would put on it for an apple pie. And I let that sit overnight until it get that flavor. And then I cook it just as I'm doing this particular portion here for the pineapples until they get tender enough. I've even done the apples in my, what is that thing called? Well, it's not a crock pot. Lord, it's been so long since I've used it. The Instapot. That's the name of it. I put it in there for about like 45 minutes to get the pieces tender enough. Okay, so I'm gonna let this do its thing over here, and we're gonna come back to this later. Let's go and make the cake batter. All right, let me readjust this. Sorry, I have to do a lot of adjusting between going over there by the stove and coming back over here on the counter. Okay, so I've already blended up my mixture of dry ingredients here. And as always, you guys know that all of the ingredients will be listed in the description section. And I want to thank everyone who's always tuning in. And I want to welcome all the new subscribers. Dishing Out Flavor is growing. Yay! Tell your families and friends about me. I would really appreciate that. My love of cooking stems from my mom being a great chef. My mom was a professional chef, and I have several great cooks in the food industry and restaurants throughout my home state of New Orleans, back in my home state of Louisiana, back in New Orleans. And I have my brother out here in Texas with me, who's a great cook as well. Okay. To that, I'm just going to pour in all of my liquid here, because it's all measured, and I already know. how it's going to turn out, because I always test and test before I bring things to you all. This is going to be a fairly thick batter. Let me get my mixer. Okay, well, this bowl is too shallow for the mixer. It had batter flying all over the place, so we're just going to use the whisk. This is an arm workout, guys. I will be right back. All right, guys. Had to go from the whisk to a spatula. All that dough getting caught up in between those little spaces. It's starting to drive me bonkers. This will do. All right, set this to the side. Just reach back here and bring this over. So you guys can see how that is. That's so much better. It's tender and soft like pineapple should be. I'll put this back in the container. Just let this sit on the side. And I'm just going to melt some butter in here after I get the rest of this up. Okay guys, you probably can't really see it all that well from here, but I have a pan on the lower rack. I'm getting ready to put hot water in there, and then on the upper rack I'll have the spring foam pan during the baking process. I find out when I do it this way, the cakes really come out nice and moist. So that's just a little tip. Please feel free to use that however you like. So that's that. I'll bring this back over here. Let's close that door. I have my butter all melted. Spread that around. actually measure the brown sugar this time. Okay, I have to switch pans. The pattern at the bottom of the spring foam pan made it very difficult to level the butter. Oh crap, it didn't adjust. Shoot, I don't know. Still don't know how much. I'll have to estimate. So this would be roughly somewhere between 60 to 75 grams of brown sugar. Normally you would like put a cherry on the top, how you see with the pineapple upside down cake, but I don't have any cherries. I have a strawberry, so I'll be putting that in the middle. I'm just gonna squeeze the juice from around the, and then spoon that in and spread it around. So since dishing out flavor is all about cooking flavor for food, I don't like to this word settle for stuff that's supposed to taste good and it just tastes all right. So I pride myself on making my low carb food taste just like regular food, as if it wasn't low carb. And I try to get as close as possible to it. If not mastering those flavors. Okay, pick this up so you guys can see what that's looking like. Alright, because I can't tilt it because then everything would shift downward that way. Okay. Maybe I should make this batter a little bit thinner so it can pour better. But then I don't know if that'll mess up the consistency of the cake because I decided to make it too loose. I'll keep it as is. And I'll just spoon it in and then spread it out. some of you may think it's odd that I'm actually baking and cooking with Torani syrups, which are supposed to be used for coffees and shakes and smoothies. But I started cooking with the syrup almost like over a year ago, a year and a half ago, when I wanted some orange chicken. And since we're not supposed to partake of orange juice or use too much of orange or whatever it was, I just happened to look up and see that Torani had an orange flavored syrup. And so I still incorporated a little bit of fresh squeezed orange juice, and then some orange extract, as well as the Torani orange syrup. And I made some sticky orange chicken. You guys can look that up. That's actually been posted. Like I said, it's over a year old. So you would just have to peruse the menu of Dishing Out Flavor, because I have a lot of dishes that I know other websites just don't have. And even if they do have them, they didn't cook it the way that I did. So you guys go ahead and feel free and look up as much as that as you want. I have from Italian, some Chinese dishes, Japanese. I think I have a Vietnamese soup on here, and then some other Asian inspired dishes as well. So you never know what you're going to get from me, because I love food and I love cooking, and I don't want to limit myself. And I definitely don't like using, well, in Louisiana we have something called the Trinity, and that's when you have like celery, onion, and garlic. But in keto, you know, I think it's a terrible blend of using cream cheese, butter, and regular cheese. That seems like a heart attack to me, so I never combine all three of those. That's not a blessed trinity. That's a total fatality right there. So I apologize if that's what type of dishes you're looking for. But after suffering a stroke, no, I am not too high in fat with most of my food dishes. You're not going to get that from me. But if I'll use like possibly 2, but that doesn't mean that you can't add that bit of cream cheese. If I'm only using bacon and cheese, you can do that and add the cream cheese in there and make that bacon, cream cheese, and regular cheese blend of whatever. I mean, it does taste good. I won't deny that, but that's just a little too greasy for me. But feel free to add that to your dishes. Okay, friends, so I have the cake in the oven, but then I have some leftover pineapple stuff. And although I probably could pour this into the other batch that I made, I'm not going to do that because I had a little bit of an idea of what I want to do with this. So I'm going to turn that into a pineapple topping, or like a jelly, so I can put on top of my toast or my biscuits or over my ice cream. So I'm going to do that. So with that said, I'm going to take some of my Boca Sweet, because because although I'm using that sugar-free syrup, when I taste that, it's really not all that sweet. This is not on the right measure. Okay. There we go, grams. So I have 15 grams of that. And I'm going to use one gram of guar gum. Okay, I'm just going to stir this around. Okay, and then I'm going to get this over to the stove, and I'm going to show you guys what that looked like in just a minute. I just need to crush up some more of these clumps of sweetener. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, just for a little measurement, I'm going to add the tiniest little bit of konjac gum in here. This is not even a gram, so, and that's only so that it'll slightly thicken a little bit more, giving it more of a jelly or gelled like, and not just a thickened type consistency. So let's see how that comes out. Alright guys, and this is what that has turned into. It's nice and thickened. Now I'm just going to put this in a jar and let it cool. About time the cake is done, this will have cooled off enough for me to show you what that looked like. Maybe we'll put this over a little bit of ice cream along with the strawberry one that I made last week. Alright, dishing out flavor. The cake is done. It's cooled off enough for me to flip it over. Let's see what we have here. Well, the strawberry didn't poke out the way I wanted it to, but it's in the middle there. Oh, I didn't get a knife. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this really, really good. I've already cut the slice. Let's get it out of here. That's what it's looking like. Let's put that on the plate. Let's move that back there. Alright, so here we go. Oh, hold on. Okay, so I wanted to get a little bit of ice cream because I said I was going to show you all the preserve or the topping once it cools off. See what it looked like. See how nice and thick that is? And so you would just put this right over the ice cream like so. And there you go. All right. Let's go in for the cake. That is so good. It tastes a little bit like pineapples when it freshly come out because it's still warm. But now see, tomorrow, after all of these flavors have really sunk in and everything, the juices and everything has settled, you guys will not be able to tell the difference that this is not pineapple. Well, depending on how heightened your sense of taste is. But after refrigerating the cake and then cutting a slice the next day and then eating it with some ice cream, oh guys, it took on a whole nother level. And it was just delicious. It's good right now, but it'll be even better tomorrow. Let's see now, as for the topping goes. That's good. That's really good. So yeah, so if you've been missing pineapple topping on top of your sundae when you have your chocolate syrup, and I do have a hot fudge recipe that's 0 carb. I also have a pineapple topping where I actually use actual pineapples, but for those who don't want to use real pineapple, you can now substitute with the chayote or the merlonton, whatever word that you want to use for that. You can do it that way. And then I also have how you can make my not too sweet strawberry jam as well. So you have a pineapple, a strawberry, and a hot chocolate. And then I also have like a blueberry on there as well. The same way that's used to make the strawberry and the blueberry, you can do that with any berry. You can do that with blackberry, raspberry, gooseberries, whatever berry that you prefer. You can make jam like that. I also have where I use apricots as well. So guys, feel free to, like I said, to peruse the Dishing Out Flavor menu or catalog, whichever one you want to call it. I prefer to say menu since I'm dishing out flavor and it's a bunch of meal that's all food based. That's what I like to call it. So peruse the Dishing Out Flavor menu. Let me know what you like. Continue to tell friends and family about me. Continue to like and subscribe, as well as share my recipes with those that you love. I would really appreciate that. Give this a try. You will not be disappointed, especially if you are missing the flavors of a pineapple upside down cake. This is really good, guys. It truly is. So stay positive, stay focused, stay strong. Actually, I think I took that out of text. It's stay positive, stay strong, stay focused. I'm mispronouncing my own mantra. Okay, once again, stay positive, stay strong, stay focused, and as always, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, guys, take care.